Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, June 11th meeting of the Chappaqua Central School District Board of Education. The board has been in an executive session since roughly 6:30. Can I have a motion, please, to reopen the public meeting?
I move, or I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and let's have our 7B Science Olympiads champions lead us in the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we are starting off with something fun and exciting. We'd like to welcome up Principal Lynn Stewart and Assistant Principal Jessica Rappaport from 7B to introduce our champions.
Thank you so much for having us tonight. I'm incredibly proud to be here to celebrate the achievements of the Seven Bridges Science Olympiad team. This year has been their biggest and best yet, and it's all thanks to the hard work and dedication of all of our students, their passion, their coaches, their parents, and their supporters. I would like to first call up all of the students collectively, and then I'll read through their names and some of their accolades. So can I have all of the Seven Bridges Science Olympiad students come up to the stage, please?
And Lynn, we have packs for them, so how should we do this? Maybe at the end, make a lot of noise coming up here.
That's right. That's the ringing of the champions in your ear. So I'm going to just go through our team. So our team that are here today is Vion Buwan, and they're going to just wave. Augustia Bordewaker, Victoria Chang, Yuan Fan, Zachary Gibbs, Eli Giltman, Avika Goyal, Cami Gomez, Roma Hugalio, Tanish Maniapati, Chelsea Ying, Amy Q, Harrison Regan, Luke Thomas, Lucas Zhang, Olivia Chang, Ria Kumar, Iris Lauer, Sean Ma, Alex Coe, and Noel McIsaac. So these are the students that were able to attend nationals this year, but we need to really recognize that we had over 60 participants this year, including our first ever developmental fifth grade team. This expansion is a testament to the growing enthusiasm, mainly because of the student leadership before us in our science world, within our community, and it bodes well for the future of our program. Our students here have set the stage between nationals last year and this year to continue this dynasty. Our team attended several prestigious in-person invitational tournaments, both locally and through lots of overnight trips. We competed at Brown University, Harvard University, Cornell University, achieving some outstanding results. Some of those include Brown University. Our 3 teams finished 2nd, 4th, and 7th, bringing home a total of 44 medals. At the Blue Dragon Invitational, our 4 teams finished 1st, 3rd, 11th, and 25th overall, earning 51 medals. At Harvard University, our 3 teams finished 1st, 6th, and 9th, overall with 32 medals. These results are a testament to the exceptional talent and dedication and hard work of these students. At the regional tournament, where we're stepping it up now, in Scarsdale, we continued our success with 3 teams finishing 1st, 4th, and 5th overall, setting a new record with 55 medals. Our success didn't stop there. They went then on to the state tournament in Syracuse, which they achieved a first place finish with 22 medals, marking the best performance ever in New York State history in the past 20 years. This is an incredible achievement that really highlights the caliber of this team. And then lastly, they would not have felt that it was a successful season by their measures without heading to the nationals at Michigan State. And they finished 13th in the whole entire country for the 2nd year in a row, earning 5 medals and competing at the national level. Achieving such high rankings is truly very much a high accomplishment and speaks volumes to these students. I want to extend my congratulations to all of the participants, a lot of our coaches, which are parents, as well as our school coaches, Sky Albert Hall and Jenny Giras. And all of the support that they've received has allowed them to see the success. Day in and out, they were able to be participating, practicing, having time to study on their own, be in the gymnasiums, and I'm just really inspired by them and their passion for science. You have really made our community very proud. Congratulations on behalf of the board has some hats for you, and they're going to give them out now, but we just want to congratulate you on an amazing season.
Congratulations to our Science Olympiads. Thank you, and thank you to your parents for having you be with us this evening, and thank you, Dr. Stewart. So, all right, have a good evening, everybody. Thank you.
Somebody didn't get it?
We don't expect you to stay for our budget presentation, so thank you, everyone, for coming. You are certainly welcome to, but you definitely aren't expected to do that. So, thank you.
So, again, welcome. It's always very exciting to celebrate our students' accomplishments, and our state champion science Olympiads are certainly something to celebrate. We also want to congratulate our girls lacrosse team and our boys track teams, who both also had tremendous seasons that have just wrapped up. We're holding our budget hearing tonight on the revised budget, which we are voting on next Tuesday, the 18th. I know we don't usually meet on Tuesdays, but just want to be clear that this meeting is dictated by the budget schedule concerning the revote. So moving the meeting date tonight was sort of out of our control. But there isn't too much else to report on this week. We've been meeting frequently in light of the budget revote, and we think that I want to thank the district. I think the updated communications of the week going out each week have been very effective, and I at least have been getting very positive community response. So I thank you for that, and I hope that this is just another sort of tool in our toolbox on improved communication with the community. And so thank you for launching that, and I think it's going well, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. So I really don't have much tonight. There is one resolution under the President's report, which is 1.1.2, which is adopting the 2024-2025 Board of Education calendar, which is next year's calendar of meetings. There's only one change, I believe, which is we moved the reorganization meeting to the 8th of July from the 9th. So I will move 1.1.2. Can I have a second, please?
A second?
Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Okay, then I will turn this over to Dr. Ackerman for the superintendent's report.
I'm going to open up the budget hearing, and so what will happen is Josh Kobolbach will go through our budget slides, and at the conclusion of the last slide, we will open it up for public comment on the budget only, and then once the public comment period is over, that will conclude the budget hearing. This is a formality under regulations, and so I'm going to turn it over to Josh.
Great. Hi, everyone. So the revised budget is $140,747,738, which represents a 1.77% increase from the 23-24 budget, with a tax levy increase of 1.81%. The key changes to note are that there is a decrease of about 0.18% in salaries, an increase of 6% in benefits, and O&M is an increase of about 5%. And so basically keeping, again, at 1.77% increase in expenditures, where our revenue shifts are from the previous budget are that the property taxes are 1.81%, and we have an increase of appropriated fund balance of about $2.7 million. Here you could see the budget to budget increase, and essentially if you could see where this year's budget to budget increase and tax levy increase, if you draw a line right through that, you could see that about half of the dots are going to be above that line and half of that below. So this budget is right at the average of about the past 15 years budget increases. Here's about the property tax cap. We are right at the property tax cap of 1.81% levy growth. Here you can see the tax analysis for the estimated for 24-25. For the residents of the town of Newcastle, we'll see an approximate increase of 2.22%, and the town of Mount Pleasant will see a decrease of 3.42% on their school taxes for next year. And again, there is a budget calculator on the budget website where you could plug in your assessed value and get approximately what your actual increase or decrease will be for this coming budget. Here is the property tax warrant that we issue here, the budget notice. And again, this has all of the same information that we just presented in small font here. This also will be included, this budget notice will be included in a mailer that goes out to all residents of the Chappaqua School District. And again, this has the same information that we have here, just also showing that the contingency budget is a $286,000 increase of the 23-24 budget, or 0.21% increase, along with our 1.77% increase for the proposed budget. Here again is just the back part of that budget notice, showing about the contingency budget, and also showing the STAR information, which is the same as the 23-24 school year. Just to discuss the contingency budget, if the budget is approved on 6/18, it is adopted. If it is disapproved on 6/18, we will go to a contingency budget, which is a $3.5 million decrease from the previously proposed budget. And the reason why we're showing it this way is that in a contingency budget, there's different dictated items that need to be reduced from a budget. So our administrative costs must be about 9.13% of the total budget in a contingency budget, which it would be less than what we have, and the program would be reduced about by 1.8 million from the previous budget, and capital about 1 million. And the big thing to understand is that the community use of facilities in a contingent budget are restricted, meaning that we need to charge the full cost of use of our facilities. So any exempt organizations would need to pay full costs. Any nonprofits that don't pay the full cost of the use, meaning the custodial, the lights, the upkeep of the space, we would have to come up with a procedure for us to be able to allow that to happen and charge groups the full value of use of those spaces. Here again, finally, our budget about $140.7 million, or a $2.451 million budget to budget increase. And I just want to point out, so this budget is both fiscally responsible and also meets our board strategic questions, our operating standards, takes the physical and social emotional health of our students in line. It supports our professional learning. It has increased funding for our extracurricular program. It commits to lower class sizes. It reduces the use of fund balance from budget to budget from last year, and it is tax cap compliant. And voter information, if you have any questions, you can email Lisa or give her a call between 8:30 and 4:30. And then she can answer any questions that you have, and registrants must be citizens of the United States, residents of the school district for 30 days, and 18 years of age. And if you have any questions, I know that we've received and answered questions via email in a variety of ways, but please feel free to email myself, Dr. Ackerman, or the board if you have any questions about the school budget.
Okay, so that concludes the budget presentation for the hearing. So if there are any public comments on the budget only, you are welcome to come down to the microphone at this time. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and the board has the option of extending it by 1 minute by resolution. Thank you.
My name is Stephen Kotler. I believe this proposed re-budget is a sham. You've reduced the budget by less than 1% from the original budget. You can make additional cuts now. This district is too top-heavy in administration. We have too many assistant superintendents, too many assistant principals at the Greeley High School. You need to sharpen your pencils. You are gaslighting the parents when it comes to the issue about the school resource officers. You've made a particular issue about that, and I think that's disgusting. The parents are the taxpayers. The taxpayers are the ones who pay your salaries. The taxpayers are the ones who vote for members of the Board of Education. I think the indication of the increased interest in the budget was reflected in the voter outcome last month and the numbers who voted. And interestingly enough, Chappaqua, out of all the neighboring districts, was the only one to vote down a budget. It was about time. I think taxpayers have had enough. You need to go back and sharpen your pencils and reduce the budget even further.
Are there any more comments on the budget? Okay, this concludes the budget hearing. Thank you. Thank you, Josh.
All right, that brings us to committee reports. Who wants to start? Alyssa, you want to go?
Sure. We had a CARES committee meeting on June 5th. It was actually a combo meeting with the DET. And we just, for this last meeting of the year, went over some of the things that we've accomplished. We finalized the student literacies of a Greeley graduate. We have planned going forward to do monthly cultural acknowledgements to be consistent across all the schools. So that will be in effect for next year. And the bulk of the meeting was discussing combining CARES and DET in the future potentially, and then also having parent involvement be part of those committees as well, and just the various ways in which we could have parents be involved, and the benefits of that would bring to the community.
Matt, do you have anything? Ryan? Kelly?
Yeah, we had health and safety committee meeting on June 4th. Matt and I were there. We went over the capital projects that's related to health and safety, like the Roaring Brook roof, the playground resurfacing, HVAC projects, network, phone, alarm, security, camera updates, and all of the AED updates that are now going to be on the field. We talked about the 24-25 plans in terms of walkie-talkie system, having the CRG maps, camera upgrades, electronic gates, drills, safety plan updates. We also did have a short discussion about some of the buildings getting too warm on the upper levels, and thinking about revisiting the heat alleviation plan that we have in place right now, and just trying to make sure that teachers and students are comfortable, that they can actually focus and learn and teach. So we talked about all those things.
Thank you. I'll report on the facilities committee. Kaylee and I were both there this afternoon. And thank you to Josh for leading that meeting. It was us and Mario Martinez, our facilities director, as well as Eric Kyer, our architect. Unfortunately, none of our community members were able to make it this afternoon. But we went through a status report really on where we are with the capital projects that were approved by bond, And we're making progress. It is slow and steady. There's a lot of waiting on the state ed department to approve our projects before they can be bid out, before we can put in orders. But we are making progress on those projects, starting obviously with things that are imperative like roofing. So there's going to be a decent amount of work completed over the summer, which is great because it obviously, if we're doing it over the summer, it doesn't impact the kids. And you know, some of it is more or less exciting, but needs to be done, such as paving. But we are plugging along, and we talked about, you know, the prioritization and the scope of work and what is going to be done when, but it is all moving according to schedule, so that is great. I also just want to let the community know that every 2 years we send out invitations, I guess, for community members to apply to join our committees, and those will be coming out at some point this summer. So please keep your eyes open for an email from us. As Alyssa said, we're looking at our committees and seeing if there might be some moving around of how they operate and what committees we have and which ones have community participation. But it's a great way to get involved, and we love having community participation on our committees. So please keep your eye out for those emails. And when you get it, do pay attention, please, to when the committees you are interested in actually meet, and make sure it's a time you can join us if you apply to join our committee, but we hope people will do so. Okay. That brings us to the public comment period, the general public comment period, not budget public comment period. So we welcome public comments, and in respect for each other's time, we ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. Board members may also be contacted via email or phone. After the public comment period has been completed, board members may have a discussion amongst themselves regarding comments. And again, please no personally identifiable information. As we have no public comments, we will move on. That brings us to approvals and ratifications. So can I have a motion, please, to take 3.1 through 3.3 together? This is accepting the minutes of the May 22nd, 2024, May 29th, 2024, and June 3rd, 2024, the minutes of our meetings and work sessions.
Moved.
Any questions or concerns? All in favor?
Before I recommend 4.1 instructional, I would like to acknowledge that Jamie Edelman has announced her retirement effective July 1st, 2025. We appreciate the notice that she's providing the district so we can plan accordingly, but we'll be sorry to see her go a year from now, but we're lucky we have another year to spend with her.
So I feel like we keep going through this. How do we deal with it when we just don't want to accept that? Is that an option available to us?
Jamie forces you.
So I recommend 4.1 instructional with regrets as presented.
I'll move that we accept 4.1 as presented.
I will second for Jamie.
Any questions or concerns? Sure, Jamie. All right, all in favor?
I recommend 4.2 non-instructional as presented.
Second.
Yeah, someone has to do it first.
No.
I'll move that we accept the superintendent's recommendations for 4.2.
And I will second.
Questions or concerns? All in favor?
So we added a resolution onto the fives, so if the board could move to the posting on the internet, we've emailed it to you, so we all have the correct resolutions in front of us. That would be great.
Okay, so 5 is our consent agenda, and the use of a consent agenda permits the Board of Education to make more effective use of its time by adopting a single motion to cover those relatively routine matters which are included. Any member of the board who wishes to discuss individually a particular piece of business on the consent agenda may so indicate, and that item will be considered and voted on separately, thus preserving the right of all board members to be heard on any issue. So as a preliminary matter, would anybody like to remove anything from this evening's consent agenda?
I have a question about an item.
Okay. Can we move it and then we
yes.
will talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I will move the consent agenda, which is now 5.1 through 5.17.
Second.
Okay, now what is your question?
Josh, do you mind us explaining for the community about negative salary codes and what all of that means?
Yeah, sure. So when a budget is proposed, and this really happened this year, the individuals are put into a salary code. Lots of times, those individuals move schools, they move buildings, or they move positions, and the wrong code is being used to pay the individual that was there. This year, I went through a whole project to reorganize it, to try and get it to be close to perfect, but people are still going to move. So all this is moving the money that was in the code that was originally budgeted for that individual into the code of where the actual individual actually worked. It could have been a move of a building, it could have been the move of a position that was in there. So that's what happens when we're moving around salary codes. We're moving them to places where the positions actually existed.
And going forward, are you able to do that like in real time, so you don't have to go back and fix it all at the end?
Yeah, so we usually try and clump it all up at the end so that it's just grouped together. We try and move the positions as early as possible, but sometimes like there's a coaching that didn't happen until the spring, and that was in the wrong code before, so we didn't know that, and that's why those happen now as well. So we definitely, I'm confident that next year there's going to be less negative salary codes because we had moved using position control now, but there's still going to be a few things that are probably not a yearly teacher, but something that's like coaching that's in the spring, or something that would move from the fall to the spring, or something like that, that likely will happen. But we can definitely try and look earlier in the year to try and move it around to get it there, but likely towards the end of the year there still will be a few to clean up.
Got it, thanks.
Any other questions or all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's actually it for tonight. Brings us to our notice of future meetings. Our next meeting, what? Did I miss something?
You did, so we just moved the consent agenda from 5.1 to 5.17.
0.17.
Okay.
Did I miss something else?
No.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Our next meeting is our budget vote, which is Tuesday, June 18th, from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Greeley Gymnasium, the Greeley Gymnasium. Come back and vote. We hope the community will vote with the same enthusiasm they did the last time. And then our next meeting after the budget vote is next Thursday, June 20th at 7 p.m. There's a chance we're going to be in the Academic Commons and not the auditorium. Stay tuned. But it will be in this building next Thursday, June 20th. And then after that, we have a meeting Tuesday, June 25th at 1:30 p.m. at the Ed Center. Can I have a motion, please, to adjourn at 7:39 p.m.?
Move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned.